Imagine you are walking through a prehistoric jungle 50,000 years ago. Suddenly, you hear the snap of a twig. You turn around, and there, crouching in the tall grass, is a saber-toothed tiger. In that exact second, your body undergoes a violent transformation. Your heart rate skyrockets, your blood pressure rises, your muscles tense up, ready to spring. Digestion stops. Growth stops. Your immune system shuts down. All energy is diverted to one singular purpose: survival. This is the fight-or-flight response. It is a brilliant, life-saving mechanism designed to last for about 15 minutes. You either escape the tiger or you don't. Now, fast forward to today. You are sitting in an office chair. You hear a ping sound. It's an email from your boss with the subject line, "We need to talk." Your body doesn't know the difference between a tiger and a stressful email. It triggers the exact same chemical explosion. The problem is, you can't run away from the email. You can't fight your boss. So, the chemicals stay in your system. Not for 15 minutes, but for hours, days, years. Welcome back to part 2 of our Neuroscience Basics series. Today, we are confronting the single biggest enemy of modern brain health. We are talking about topic 16, cortisol and stress management mechanisms. To understand stress, we have to meet the commander of this system. It is called the HPA Axis, the hypothalamus, pituitary, and adrenal axis. When your brain perceives a threat, the hypothalamus sends a signal to the pituitary gland, which then signals your adrenal glands, sitting right on top of your kidneys. These glands release a flood of hormones, the most famous of which is cortisol. Cortisol is not a villain. In fact, you need it to live. It wakes you up in the morning. It focuses your attention. It reduces inflammation during an acute injury. But cortisol is designed to be a temporary visitor, not a permanent resident. When cortisol levels remain chronically high, it turns from a protector into a destroyer. It begins to attack the brain itself. Remember the hippocampus we talked about? The center for learning and memory. High levels of cortisol are toxic to the hippocampus. They literally kill brain cells there and stop new ones from growing. This is why, when you are stressed, you can't remember where you put your keys or you struggle to learn new tasks. At the same time, cortisol strengthens another part of the brain, the amygdala. The amygdala is the brain's fear center. So chronic stress shrinks your memory center and grows your fear center. You become biologically wired to be more anxious, more reactive, and less capable of rational thought. So the question is not how do we eliminate stress? That is impossible. The question is, how do we manually turn off the HPA axis? How do we tell our bodies that the email is not a tiger? The most powerful tool we have is something you are doing right now. Breathing, but not just any breathing. The HPA axis has a direct connection to your diaphragm. When you are stressed, you take short, shallow breaths. This signals the brain that the danger is still present. To reverse this, we can use a technique called the Physiological Sigh. This is a pattern discovered by neuroscientists that acts as a manual off switch for stress. It works like this. You take 2 inhalations through the nose, a long one, followed immediately by a short one to fully inflate the lungs. Then, you exhale slowly through the mouth, making the exhale longer than the inhale. This specific pattern offloads carbon dioxide and physically slows down the heart. It sends a mechanical signal to the brain saying, "We are safe." Doing this just 1 to 3 times can drop your cortisol levels significantly in under a minute. It is the fastest way to hack your own nervous system. The second mechanism for management is cognitive reframing. This involves using your prefrontal cortex, the logical, human part of your brain, to override the emotional amygdala. When you feel that surge of energy we call anxiety, your body is preparing you for action. Physiologically, anxiety and excitement are almost identical. The only difference is the story you tell yourself. If you tell yourself, "I am nervous," your brain perceives a threat. If you tell yourself, "I am excited," or "I am alert," Your brain perceives a challenge. By labeling the sensation as readiness rather than fear, you shift the brain's state. You stop being a victim of the cortisol and start using it as fuel for focus. We live in a world designed to keep our HPA axis permanently switched on. The news, social media, noise, and deadlines are all triggers. Managing stress is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity for preserving your brain structure. So far, we have talked a lot about the chemicals in the brain neurotransmitters, hormones like cortisol, and proteins like BDNF. But the brain is not just a chemical soup. It is also an electrical machine. Every thought you have is a pulse of electricity. Did you know that these electrical pulses vibrate at different frequencies depending on what you are doing? There is a frequency for deep sleep, a frequency for high focus, and a frequency for deep relaxation. In our next episode, we are going to switch gears from chemistry to electricity. We will explore Part 2, Topic 17, Alpha, Beta, Theta. Brainwaves explained. We will learn how to tune your brain's frequency like a radio to achieve the state of mind you desire. For now, take a deep breath. 2 inhales through the nose. 1 long exhale through the mouth. Tell your body the tiger is gone. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next video.